Hello and welcome back to Blackwatch Intel. My name is Crashy, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Symmetra. And I guess I'm going to go on ahead and throw this under the hero analysis category here on the channel, and something I like to do where I just pick a specific hero and I kind of give my thoughts and share my opinions about that specific hero. So this actually came on, and I always like to do this just to kind of plug where some of my ideas come from, and just to let you guys understand that I'm constantly ingesting Overwatch content. I'm on a Facebook group, and someone posted, with all this Mercy nerf talk, let's go the other way, what hero needs a buff? And this made me really think. I mean, it makes me understand that when you watch the Overwatch League, literally every hero on the roster saw playtime, whether it was a minute, using Mei for stall, or, using Bastion for Junkertown, or whatever the case may be. You saw every single hero, which is pretty cool, even though it's not super balanced, except for Symmetra. And what does that mean? Her being the very kind of high risk, high reward support, you have to kind of think about what she's meant for. So let's take, I don't know, randomly off the top of my head, let's take a map like Hanamura. You run Mercy, Symmetra, and you lose so much healing. I mean, think about the supports that are in the game right now. With the addition of Moira, there are a ton. There's just a ridiculous amount of healing in the game right now. Healing, minus the situation with Mercy, healers are in a really good spot. So you have a hero like Symmetra, who I think has 100% been used in the support role. You don't really see pro teams or anything like that like run her in a damage role, or you don't really see a lot of triple support comps with the Symmetra. You don't see anything like that. And so more or less you have to take it, the way that it is, or the way that it seems to be, and you have to think of her as a support, because that's where she lies right now. And you essentially have a really bad early game, an insanely bad early game, while you build up a teleporter or a shield gen. Now here's the problem with that. Dive comp is, it destroys that. It's not even close. It's a composition hard counters one hero so bad that she's essentially useless. So when we're talking about, giving her a buff, I think it's more important to just look at the hero and say, you know what, I think it's time for either a very ludicrous kind of outlandish buff, and I do have an idea, something I'm just going to throw out. It's totally random, it's probably trash, so just, hear me out, think of it in terms of dialogue and make your own opinion. But I think we're most looking at something in terms of a rework, and I really don't have a good idea for a rework, but I do have a random thought / concept in my head. So first and foremost, I want to talk about my ludicrous buff idea. This is nutty. I'm going to come up with two of them. I maybe have talked about this in the past. I don't think I've brought these specific ideas up. Maybe I have. I don't remember, but we're going to talk about it here. What if the shield gen or the teleporter was one item? What if she had one ultimate and it was a shield gen that also had 6 charges of teleporter? Now, this one I'm pretty sure I've talked about on the channel. This I actually think would be really strong. But here's the thing, you're still sacrificing healing. So now you have these 6 charges of, teleporter, and you have a shield gen. Now, my thought is this: when the charges are up, the shield gen stays as a shield gen only, and it's simple as that. But you would then give the Symmetra the ability to continuously gain a new charge of ult. So normally if you have a shield gen out, she doesn't gain ult, but now in this new version of my idea, you would gain a new ult, and then she has the option to replace it essentially. So that way she's constantly building pretty linear style of play where, you earn your ult, you're using it, you earn another one. And that in itself, that one aspect leaves, pretty much no overlap for shield gen, or like no downtime for shield gen, which could be very strong. And that in a way kind of makes her heal some, right? If you think about it, she has shields, she puts shields on everybody, the shield gen dies, maybe someone kills it, or she places a new one, no missing time of shield gen, she adds health. And so that's cool. I think that would make her really strong. I think that change would be really, really strong. But like I said, undeniably can be countered, and undeniably would have a very weak early game. So that could be really cool. Now, my second idea for the shield gen or the teleporter in its current form is, what if either one had passive AoE healing? Now, this one is really weird. Really, really weird, and I'm going to throw out a random number in terms of the numbers behind it, and we can talk about it balance-wise. It's impossible to say really without it being tested. What if the same AoE radius as the shield gen was essentially attached to both shield gen and teleporter, and it was a healing per second? Now this, I don't know the value, but I'm gonna say, what if it was 2 health per second healing? This is slight healing. If they rush you, you know, that healing doesn't really amount to anything. It's so light, it's not like a Lucio heal, so you can't really compare it to that, but she would actually bring a little bit more value in terms of the support role. That I think could be really cool. I think it's such a small change, even if it was 2, if it was 4, if it was 1 healing per second. I don't really know what makes it OP. I don't really know. I'd have to really think about it. We'd have to kind of dive into the testing of that, maybe in a very literal sense if they ever decided to do something like that. But I think it could add to the viability of the hero without having to change her too much. So just a thought. Those are a couple thoughts on how we could buff her in this current form. Now, in terms of a rework, the thing about Symmetra is that she works, I really forget her lore, so forgive me, but I know she worked in like a city and was like an architect and she built. So I kind of would like to see her have some like constructs and really like hard push her toward the defense category where she can make like obstacles, and it kind of like makes me think of Fortnite in a way, where you could just like slam up a wall and it's really May-esque, but not a vertical wall. I want there to be like a platform and you can use her to boost and get to high ground, and that would just be one thought about her. You know, obviously if they want to be you know, really unique, they could change her entire kit, but I'm just trying to think of different ideas for how you could make this hero just different, throw her into a different category. I definitely think it might be time to go ahead and put her as a defense hero, because she I don't know what she's a support. I don't really know. I'd love to hear your thoughts, but those are my thoughts on Symmetra. I ultimately think that she is probably undeniably the most useless hero in the game, or really close with a couple others maybe. And I hope they change her, because I think she's cool. And here's the thing, I like playing her, so I don't want them to change her too much, but I do think it's time to push her in some direction, whatever that may be. Healer, defense, let's make some changes to Symmetra in the future for the sake of the hero. So that's my thoughts. I don't know, let me know yours in the comment section down below. I appreciate you for checking out this video. Please do not leave without leaving a like and subscribe for future content. I appreciate it again, and I'll see you on the next video.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel the fire inside of me? Do you see the sparks that I'm setting free? Does the beat